Alors, on est en direct sur les ondes de 99media.org. We're live on 99media.org from Chateauguay, Quebec, where there is a rally in opposition of the BSL, breed-specific legislation. And they're going to be delivering a petition at the 7 o'clock City Council meeting. Over here, the cops are wearing cowboy hats.
We've answered emails during the last weeks. Of course, as I say, Chateauguay is not the only city. So Chateauguay is not the only city which has such a bylaw. But we also think that we have to refresh the bylaw about the animals in Chateauguay, and that we have to responsibilize more the owners toward their pets and toward the other citizens, because priority. The relationship is between everybody, and that some people are afraid of this, and then we want to have
Well, in the bylaw, when I read the bylaw recently, the bylaw says
yeah.
they're not allowed in Chateauguay. So we're telling you now that Chateauguay is going to read specific bylaws.
We're going to see that, and we're going to, as I say, refresh the bylaw and very act as how we should act in 2015. It's an old bylaw that, it happened more than 20 years ago when we started that people think about many times there was an incident. So right now we're going to move forward, and tonight at the city meeting we start the process to change the bylaw with David Motion, and then the process will go further, and then we'll have a new bylaw which will responsible the owner of the dogs more than the animal.
So the process begins this evening. We're not going to see it it's not going to be wiped off the books this evening.
No, it's starting. Yeah. It is the process, the legal process to change the bylaw also. So we have to pass through all the process.
Was this something that you thought it was time to do, or did this only come up because of?
No, it started. We started to talk about it a year ago. But of course, we have so many things going on, and you know, sometimes it needs a little bit more things on the actuality to force us to go further a little bit or a little faster. But we started to talk about it a year before because pitbull is one of the issues, but there's also other issue about pets going on. Cats are also things that we have to talk about because there's so many cats that are let by the owner in the nature, and that causes also a problem to citizens. So we have to responsibilize the people for their animals, and that's what we want to do with the new bylaw that we're going to adopt. And of course, there's going to be some consultation, public consultation and everything, to be sure that we are accurate and have the best way present.
It's going to make a lot of people here happy this evening.
I hope so.
That's so cool, huh?
Hi, good. I'm live. Yeah, the interview. They're gonna see it and try and pass a motion to change the bylaw.
Apparently she spoke to the mayor and they're going to.
Yeah, that's what she was saying on interview. Hi.
You want to come up?
No, I'm live streaming right now. What does it write on it? Don't judge my pit bull, and I won't judge your kids. Definitely.
Ban the deed, not the breed. 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 Ban the deed. All day. Everybody, there's no more interviews going on in the parking lot, so I'd ask everybody to join me in the parking lot so we can have a bigger group, okay?
No one. I was bringing them home now and again. It seems okay. So maybe the last, I'd say, half a week, he's been pretty steady.
So news this evening from the myself included, that they're going to revisit this bylaw and change it to make owners more responsible, to put the onus on the owner and not the dog. How does that sit with you?
That's perfect for me. I believe in responsible dog ownership 100%. My dog has been in dog parks since he was 6 months old. He's been well socialized since he was 6 months old. He knows all my neighbors since he was 6 months old. If you're forced to hide your dog, it might become a problem. So
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. We now have a little bit of a crowd here, so I'm very excited.
Oh, yeah. There's a big man. Yeah, for a second, I was scared there. I was like, oh, God.
Petition.
No, you got out of the house.
I don't have any pit bulls. I have 2 white fluffy dogs. But when I saw what had happened to you, I was taken aback at that we had this kind of barbaric law here in Chateauguay. And Chateauguay is not the only place that has this law, in all fairness. And Mayor Simon did not put this law in place. So it's not we're not here gathered against Mayor Simon or the council. We're here to have the legislation change. It is a barbaric law, it's a prejudicial law, and the studies have shown that it's an ineffective law. So I'm really happy to be here on behalf of the Chateauguay community. We have over nearly 5,300 electronic signatures supporting our cause. And some of these people signed were from Japan, England, all over Europe. We're really the majority were from Montreal and Chateauguay. Of course, a lot of people from Chateauguay. And we do have a handwritten petition going on with the majority of people from Chateauguay and the surrounding areas. And I think we might hit 2,000. I think we might hit 2,000 people. So we've got a lot of support here. And I have spoken to the mayor. And she's confirmed to me that she's very open-minded. And I think that we're going to have a very good outcome. So I appreciate everybody. Yay! I think we're all going to be very, very pleasantly surprised. But I think that everybody's going to have to know that the onus is going to be on owners. So all you dog owners, whether you own a pit bull or you own a chihuahua, you got to be responsible because that's what we're fighting for. If we're overturning this law, it's because we want to have responsible ownership. So thank you very much for coming, and I'm hoping some people will help me get up here and chant before I lose my voice and maybe take the lead on this. If anybody wants to come up and talk about personal experience, you don't have to be afraid. This is a peaceful rally, and the City Council supports this rally, so nobody has to be afraid if they want to talk about their experiences when out in public with their dogs. Feel free to come on up. Okay.
Hi everybody, my name is Valerie. My big goofball that I call him is Rongo. He's on the sign right up there. He's a blue-nosed pit, right here. He's a blue-nosed pit bull. He has got to be the dog that makes me laugh the most in this world. He's just incredible. And 2 days after moving to Chateauguay, without us knowing about this ban, it wasn't really well advertised in my opinion when we moved here. We got pulled over by the cops and we were told by a police officer that he was going to take my dog, although he was 5-6 months old. He weighed about 20, 30 pounds. He was super tiny. He was just sitting there with his big flappy ears, and he's looking at the cop saying, "What did I do wrong?" And I was told that the cop was going to take my dog and put him in the back of my car. And when I was debating saying what I can do to stop this, he said, "Well, if you don't be quiet, I'm going to shoot your dog right here." So in that being the case, I'm very, very happy to be here to be fighting this cause, because I believe that the problem is not the dog, it's not the breed, it is the owner, and I think that we need to be a little more responsible, and by fighting this, we can show everybody how barbaric this law is.
And here we go.
Just press the button and talk.
Hello?
Hey, do this without the
Yeah, I could probably do it without it. But first of all, I'd like to thank the police presence that is here today, because it's not really against them either. They just uphold the laws that we have in our town. And in my experience, it's the same thing. Like, one bad apple, it's the same thing with pit bulls and bad owners. One bad apple can ruin the bunch. And I've had great experiences with Chateauguay police that have seen my dog for 10 and a half years. They stop me, they look at the dog, they say, okay, cool, and then they talk to me about hockey for 10 minutes, and then they drive away. I had, recently on July 7th, I had one really bad experience where a police officer also told me that he was willing to shoot my dog on sight. And, you know, these kind of things have to stop. I've had my dog 10 years. I've lived at the same address for 10 years for longer than I've had the dog. And for the 10 and a half years that I've had Murphy, that you can all see on the signs here, I never had a complaint from my neighbors or anything like that. And it was just this one police officer that saw me at a dip and R and decided to use the full extent of the law against me. And he gave me 7 days, and he said, at the end of 7 days, I'm coming to search your house. If your dog is still there, I'm taking him out to be killed. And he told me that he was giving me a break by doing that because he could kill my dog right there. And this stuff has to end. When you put that kind of power in somebody's hands, they need to be responsible with it. And like I said, one bad apple can ruin the bunch. This guy did that. And once again, I'd like to thank the police presence that are here for protecting us today and every day of the year. By the way, that police officer is not here today. So we can be nice to these guys.
Thank you. I agree that most of the majority of the police are here to enforce the law, and they're not going around threatening to kill people. But it does happen. There have been several cases of people coming forward and showing me proof, including legal documents where, in some cases, their dogs have been shot on site. Young dogs, for no reason. Pepper sprayed. Shot on site, killed on site. There have been cases of entry and removing of the dogs causing cardiac arrest. But again, I think that is the minority. But the fact is that this happens all over. It's not just Canada. It's not just Quebec. It's in the U.S. And if it's, I think people are afraid. It's ignorance. It's education that needs to be done. And I think if we can all show Chateauguay as an example of responsible dog ownership, most of these animals that are targeted as vicious are not vicious at all. They're little pussycats, and they don't deserve to be punished, and neither do the owners that spend so much time socializing them. So we're gathered here to fight this, and I really do believe that what's important, where we have to put the onus, is what's on the other end of the leash. It is the owners. And people do we do not advocate, and I don't think that this is prevalent here in Chateauguay, that in certain areas we've got gangs using these dogs, abusing these dogs, fighting these dogs. And this is what gives these dogs a bad name. These dogs are no more, they are not vicious, and they are no more vicious than what people look at as family-friendly dogs, Cocker Spaniels, Shih Tzus. I mean, God knows my dog, he's got 17, but he could do some damage if he wanted to, if he doesn't like you. So, this is a barbaric law, and I'm so impressed that we have this gathering, and we have all the signatures and the petition, and I think we also have the cooperation of the mayor and her council. So I really think that the next gathering that we're going to have is going to be a victory march with all the, if we want to say pit bulls, because pit bull is not a breed. It's a mix of all kinds of different type animals, dogs, canines. But I think we're going to have a victory march soon. So I think, it's not set in stone yet, but I really do think that the next meeting that we're going to have is going to be a nice march down Anjou, and everybody's going to be on leashes, and everybody's going to be well behaved, and it's going to be a success. So please don't go anywhere, because we are going to be going in a select group of us to present the petition and some statistics. And it isn't set in stone. I'm hoping that I'll be able to come out and tell you some really, really positive news, and that soon we'll have something in writing. So until then, if anybody else wants to come up, please.
Hi, my name's Dana. Some of you might know me from Quebec Pitbull. Woo! Honestly, I don't think I can talk much to what anyone said here, other than it's true, a dog is a dog. The monster's on the too. I gotta kiss it? Alright. The monster is... the only monster is the two-legged one on the end of the leash mistreating their dog. It's really responsible owners that count, and more cities need to implement responsible ownership laws, and this is when changes will come into effect. If you look at Ontario, they have a province-wide ban, and since they have, their bite statistics have risen like you would not believe, because they're not addressing the problem. They're banning a breed, but they're not banning bad people from having the dog. So you've still got other dogs out there biting people. You've got unregistered dogs biting people, and it's not changing anything. So I applaud these people for their effort and everything, because it's good. More people need to do this. More changes need to happen. This July, we had a walk for pit bulls, and a lot of people said to me, aren't you worried there's going to be a dog fighter? It's going to be a bad press. No, because we told people, no reaction dogs, be responsible, and we had over 50 dogs, and everything went great. We had lots of support from the public, people honking as they drove by, coming to pet the dogs. There was no problem. Why? Because we're responsible people. This is what it takes. It's responsible ownership. That's it. Thanks.
We're thrilled to have you here, absolutely. There's also a lot of mistaken identities for pit bulls. There's a lot of dogs that, that look like pit bulls and are not pit bulls, and it's not fair that pit bulls are targeted to begin with. But if you look at studies, it's hard in some areas. Like there's so many. I spoke to I can't really say the source, but an organization that handles animal control for Chateauguay, and so many pit bulls or animals or dogs that look like pit bulls are released to this organization because they can't take the pressure, and they don't want to hide their dogs. Hiding, there are so many pit bulls in Chateauguay, and hiding them is really actually dangerous, because hiding your dog leads to the lack of socialization that dogs need. And when we overturn this law, the owners are going to have to really be strong and learn to socialize their dog, maybe take some training, because unfortunately the law is just so restrictive that people have had to hide their dogs and they haven't been able to socialize with other animals. So as lovely as any dog is, they need socialization. So this law is wrong in forcing people to hide their dogs as well. I do believe, though, that all in all, the pit bulls of Chateauguay are out to exercise, and people just know how to work the system. They know how to go, when it's a little bit dark out, or they know how to kind of get their dogs out. But it's a horrible feeling to know that you have a lovely, loving animal, and you can't walk your dog to the day center like you. I mean, Hugh never hit his dog. He's registered Murphy as a pit bull for 10 years. And the city has accepted the registration. Yet, as long as he's not caught and seen by police their job is to enforce the law, he can get away with having Murphy. But if the police catch him, even though he has paid his registration and registered his dog as the breed that he is, his dog can be taken away and euthanized. And that is wrong. I mean, everything is wrong with this law. And studies show, if anybody wants, I'm sure people have looked up the law and have Googled it, but you'll see that studies show that in some areas, bite rates have gone up with this law. People's bars are down, and other breeds, other dogs, any dog can bite. And I'm sorry, when people say, well, pit bulls have lockjaw, they don't have lockjaw. There's no such thing as lockjaw. They have a strong jaw. Woo! And they're not the strongest jaw. And Dobermans are strong, and Shepherds are strong, and all kinds of dogs are strong. Shih Tzus are even strong. She's strong, I'm telling you. And most of the bites occur with children. And there's no reason for bites to occur with children. Why is your child unsupervised? And if you have any dog, a Shih Tzu, a Chihuahua, or a Pit Bull, and there's a child around, aren't you watching? And the owner of the parent of the child, aren't you watching? So it's all about ownership, and I really think that we can show the mayor and her council that we are responsible as pet owners, whether we have Chihuahuas, whether we have Pit Bulls, whether we have cats. We're all responsible. We can all be responsible, and people that are not responsible are the ones that need to be punished. And there's definitely alternatives to this terrible, terrible legislation.
Comme la plupart d'entre vous le savez déjà, c'est pas le chien le problème, c'est le maître. Ça peut être n'importe quelle race. Le problème qu'on a présentement à Chateauguay, c'est que les gens qui ont des pitbulls, ils les gardent cachés, ils les sortent la nuit pour les promener, sont peut-être moins socialisés que n'importe quel autre chien parce que les gens, quand on a un pitbull et qu'on peut pas se promener avec, ben on peut pas aller au dépanneur avec, on peut pas aller prendre une marche comme n'importe qui d'autre, hein. Mais on sait que peu importe la race de chien, un chien c'est un chien. Peu importe. C'est pas vrai qu'un pitbull a une mâchoire qui barre. Ça se peut pas, ça existe pas, c'est un mythe. Il y a des chiens encore qui ont des mâchoires qui sont encore plus fortes que les pitbulls. Même que les pitbulls sont pas dans le top, là. Il y en a qui sont pires. Hein? Mais, par contre, ces chiens-là sont permis ici. Mais, autant que n'importe quel autre chien, ça veut pas dire que parce qu'ils sont des chiens plus forts, qu'ils vont mordre, qu'ils vont attaquer. Hein? Est-ce que j'ai raison? Oui! Ouais! Ça peut être un Shih Tzu, ça peut être un Pitbull, ça peut être un Pitbull, ça peut être un Danois. Peu importe la race du chien, un chien peut attaquer. La responsabilité, c'est le maître, c'est la personne en arrière de la lettre. Pourquoi il y a des enfants qui sont attaqués? Parce qu'il y a des maîtres irresponsables. Pourquoi qu'un enfant est laissé sans supervision devant un chien? Peu importe la race du chien. Un chihuahua avec un enfant, un bébé de 6 mois, ça peut faire du dommage autant qu'un pitbull avec un enfant de 10 ans, autant qu'un rottweiler avec un adulte. Peu importe la race, un chien c'est un chien, il faut être responsable en tant que propriétaire de chien. Est-ce que quelqu'un aimerait dire un mot, parler d'une expérience? Oui!
Hi, my name's Terry, and I actually own a pit bull. I have 4 children, and my baby is 2 years old, and my dog is his shadow. If he goes somewhere, my baby goes with him, and vice versa. The other day, my son was in the backyard. We were doing things in the backyard, didn't notice the gate to our pool was open, and if it had not been for my dog, I don't know I would be telling this story to you today. He saved my son's life. It's important to control your dogs and to train them properly, but the pit bull is not the problem. You are the problem. So fix you, not the dog.
So we'll be entering in probably about 10 minutes. I'm hoping that somebody else will want to speak while we're inside. Open. To keep the chat going. I'm hoping that you guys will stick around and find out what has gone on inside and continue to sign the petition. That would be wonderful. I do believe that we will have a positive outcome. We won't obviously know details, that I did speak to Mayor Simon, and she was really open. She realizes that this is dog ownership is serious, and she wants people to take it seriously, but I do believe that indications are showing me that there's not going to be any free legislation anymore. I do believe that. I'm hoping to come out and tell you that. Sometimes we have to gather together and put a little pressure when we know when something's wrong, and I think that the Chateauguay community has really come together, and I'm really quite impressed. I've only been in Chateauguay for 3 years, so I had no idea that this law was in place. I was actually shocked when I read Hugh's story about his altercation with a certain police officer, and I found it very impressive. And I was really shocked. This is not the community that I live in. No way. And when I researched it on the internet, I said, "Oh my God, we actually live in a." I don't think I would have moved here if I knew that law was in place. I don't have a pit bull, but I don't want to live in a community where we have these types of laws in place. They're wrong, and they're really prejudicial. It's like judging the color of somebody's skin. It's wrong. Well, come on, come and speak, come and say a word. Come on. I just love that.
Hi, I'm Megan, and I would just like to say, if we can just remember that we just recently passed a right that dogs have rights, just like us humans. Do we ban blondes here? Do we ban brunettes? Like, why would we ban a certain breed of dog? They have the same rights as humans now. They've just passed the law. So why not change this one? Woo!
I invite anybody else to come on up and give my voice a rest. I would really love it. And I'd love to know other people's perspectives that are here. You guys are here for a reason. I'd love if somebody would just say a few words, just tell your opinion, or maybe your experience, or just your opinion why you're here. Would anybody like to come up? No? Everybody's quiet, very, very quiet.
Oh, yell real loud.
We got somebody coming up here. All right.
This guy here's got a worse story than me.
Okay, tell me a story.
Salut tout le monde, écoutez, moi ça fait 5 ans que j'ai mon chien. Mon chien c'est un bull terrier, c'est une femelle, elle est super gentille, jamais attaqué personne, je l'ai vu avec des enfants, des chiens, des chats, elle a jamais pas. Je l'ai montré à jouer avec pas ses dents, elle cache ses dents quand elle monte ses dents. Puis là, à peu près un mois, j'ai mangé une ticket de 168$ par une policier qui m'a interpellé. Il m'a dit que j'avais 24 heures pour me débarrasser de mon chien. 24 heures! qui pouvaient passer après 24 heures à tous les 24 heures pendant X nombre de temps pour vérifier s'il était là, pouvaient rentrer chez nous sans mandat d'arrestation et dire qu'ils prennent mon chien et passent à la destruction de mon chien. Je trouve ça insensé et inhumain de faire ça. C'est ridicule. Comme tout le monde dit, il n'y a pas de mauvais chiens, il y a des mauvais maîtres. Il y a des maîtres qui savent pas, qui ont des chiens qui sont plus forts qu'un chihuahua. Mais comme tout le monde dit, un chihuahua peut mordre autant qu'un bull terrier ou qu'un pitbull ou que whatever. Mon ami, le meilleur exemple, il habite à Québec, il est pas ici en ce moment. Il a pas peur de mon chien, il l'adore, il joue avec, il donne des becs, il n'y a pas de problème. Mais il s'est fait mordre par un Boston Terrier. 96 points de suture dans la face. 96! On peut dire que c'est dangereux, un Boston Terrier. C'est un petit chien. Calique. Puis moi, j'ai un chien, puis on m'arrête comme ça, puis il me donne 24 heures pour déménager. Faut que je casse un bail. C'est trop, ça. C'est de l'argent. C'est du temps. En ce moment, mon chien a boucle. J'ai pas le choix. Je peux pas payer pour un entreposage. Comme ça. Je l'envoie chez ma mère, je l'envoie chez des amis qui sont à l'extérieur, qui sont dans les villes qui ont froid. Et en ce moment, j'ai juste hâte de la revoir. Je vais la chercher, je vais la voir. C'est à peu près un mois. C'est environ à peu près un mois. C'est ça mon histoire, puis j'espère qu'il va y avoir de plus en plus de monde qui va appuyer cette cause, parce que c'est ridicule. C'est complètement ridicule.
That's a horrible story, and I hope that I know there's many other stories like that, and I'm hoping that very shortly, I'm hoping within the month, that everybody will be able to walk proudly with their pit bulls, as I say, pit bulls, their pit bull hybrids, whatever you want to call them. You know, they have big heads. I mean, that's what I see them. I don't know pit bulls. I know dogs and animals' behaviors. I know that there's no vicious animal. It's the other end of the leash. When I look at a pit bull, I see a beautiful animal, and I don't consider them pit bulls. They have similar features. I'm looking at the pictures. They have big heads, but they're strong. But they're beautiful, beautiful animals. And there's the only pit bulls that I have met in my life have been the most angelic, well-socialized animals, and I've seen a lot. I'm in animal rescue. I run believe it or not, I run a cat rescue. We help dogs in emergency situations. So I have rescued many pit bulls, and they have all been the sweetest animals. So it's just a terrible law, and I think that we are going to amend this law. I cannot believe how many people, well, it seems to be quite a lot of that have showed up, but I cannot believe the petition and the overwhelming support that we've had with this petition. It's amazing. And I think that Chateauguay is going to serve as one of the examples. There's other municipalities that have changed the law. Many of these areas that have had PSL have actually given up on them because it's so costly and they can't enforce them because all the dogs are in hiding. So what's the point of having this legislation? These dogs are in hiding, and the only thing they can do is shoot or threaten to shoot the ones that they see. So it's really asking for trouble. It lets people's guards down, and it makes people think that other dogs are safe to be around when that's not true. Because any dog is dangerous if the owner is dangerous. If the owner does not do what he's supposed to do. Or if the owner abuses his dog. And I think that in Chateauguay, we need to encourage that dog owners are responsible and get rid of those abusers. Because there's abusers in every town, and we don't need them in our town. And they do give animals a bad name. So I'm inviting anybody else up here again. I would really love it. Oh, I see Hugh. I think maybe Hugh needs... Oh, I have to see him.
Hello, my name is Lisa. I met Susan through Facebook. I personally know Hugh, who this thing has all been started for. I'm not going to be redundant and say what we all know, that dogs are like people. They have emotions, they have rights, and it is the person on the other end of the leash, like we're saying. What I would like to take the time to say is a huge thank you to Susan, who started this ball rolling. She didn't even know Murphy. There are so many laws that exist in our city, in our province, in our nation that are outdated or that are outjust or that were created out of fear. And it is only through people like Susan and through all of you who have come out here today that we're going to change things. There are things that need to be changed. And it's so very few people that are willing to take a stand and to start a ball rolling that needs to be rolled. So I encourage all of you to find those laws that are unjust, not just for Murphy, for anything, and raise your voice like we're doing here. We can inspire change. So thank you, Susan. Thank you so much for taking this on, and thank you all for coming out here and just showing your support.
Well, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it, but honestly, it really, the whole community has rallied together, because I can make a petition and a few people can sign it and it won't go anywhere. You guys stood up to the plate. There's a lot of pit owners here, and I know that, and everybody wants to do what's right for the animal. So I appreciate the thanks, I really do, but I do realize this is a huge group effort, and this is Murphy spurred this on. This is for Murphy, but it's for all the other dogs, and it's not just the pit bulls. It's for all other dogs. It could be any race that's targeted. As Cesar Milan says, I'm not a huge Cesar Milan fan, but as he has said, and it is true, you know, first it was the Doberman, and then it was the Rottweiler, and, you know, next it could be the, who knows, it could be the Chihuahua next. We don't know what it's going to be. God knows. So, you know, we need to make the onus off the breed and on to the owners and the other end of the leash. So thank you. So whoever wants to come and like start some little chants going, we're going to be ending up going in soon to meet the mayor and her council. So I'd really love it if there'd be a few people that maybe would be willing to take over and just, you know, do some chants and keep things going. Get some attention and you know, I don't think we're going to be in there very long, but it would be nice if we, you know, kept things going while we are inside. Is anybody up to that? Come on. Maybe one of the police officers coming up?
Studied court cases, and thank you all for coming. It means the world to me and Murphy. That's my baby they're trying to kill. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
So we're just about to go in, and we've counted, or whatever the term you want to use, the numbers of signatures for the handwritten petition, and we are at this moment present at 2,100 signatures.
3 weeks!
3 weeks, guys! Thank you very much! Merci tout le monde! 2541 signatures. Maintenant, au moment qu'on parle, il y a encore des gens qui attendent en ligne pour la signer. Fantastique! Merci pour votre travail!
Thank you, everybody. I don't know if anybody wants to stay around. Again, we did have that, this is open until we weren't quite sure because we didn't really know the agenda and how long we'd be inside. So if you guys want to keep the rally going, we're going to be going in. But we're going to keep the petition out here for people to sign. And for anybody who wants to keep the rally going, the microphone's out here, everything's out here. Woo! Go get them! Thank you. And if anybody wants to stick around, we'll be outside to tell you how it goes.
We'll let you know how it goes in there when we come out.
I hope you guys will still be here. We need a leader, though, for the megaphone.
I know where she is now. Living in a trailer in Chateauguay.
All right, guys, let's go.
I'm gonna get them walking in and
Follow in.
sorry guys. Mind sorry.
Yeah, my dog's not quite a table. You got it through.
So you were talking about a seat? No problem. Cameras are good, but we have to be at the back of the room. Okay.
Just have to get rid of that. Okay, we have to. Not.
So we're live on 99media.org. On est encore en direct sur les ondes de 99media.org. Je suis rentré dans le conseil municipal, mais je pouvais pas avoir de connexion Internet. Alors j'ai enregistré ça localement. And I'll be putting that later online.
Otherwise, I'll lose my voice.
Sorry.
Hello, can everybody hear? Can everybody hear?
Yes.
Okay, well, it has been confirmed by the mayor herself that the breed-specific legislation is going to be abolished.
DSL in Chateauguay is almost done.
It's going Now, it's not abolished yet, so don't go walking your dogs there out in public at this point. But she did confirm, and Valerie will attest to that, and Hugh, and Darryl, everybody who was in there, that she is abolishing the breed-specific law. But she does, of course, they have to meet with experts, figure out, look at the statistics, figure out exactly what law is going to be in place, but it's going to be about behavior and ownership. I really hope that you're all going to join us for the victory march, because this is going to be really I don't know how long this is going to take. I mean, we're going to follow up closely. I'm going to speak to Alana Devine, the SPCA, and the other organizations that have been working with us to follow up with the mayor and our council, but it has been confirmed. I mean, it's like you say, it's confirmed.
Better than nothing.
It may be true. I don't know. It's not in writing, so I am really excited. I am really happy, but it's not in writing yet. So, she accepted the petition. Of course, there's, they have to sort through the petition. The electronic petition is not usually seen as legal, but we do have so many signatures for the handwritten. It's not just based on the petition that's showing our support, but she spoke really highly of changing, putting the onus on the race. She was really supportive in there, and I really feel she wants to change the law. It's not just a matter of being forced to change the law with the pressure. I really feel she wants to change the law. So
Excellent.
We're really encouraged, and I will let Valerie speak.
Finally win.
Okay.
So yes, they will be revising the law. They will be looking into it. They will be talking about it. There will be some public seance, if I can use the term. I don't know how to. Public meeting. And in order to talk about this, for those who want to go, talk about it. But in the meantime, like Susan said, It's not confirmed. It's not in writing. It's not black on white. It hasn't been changed yet. They are going to. They are looking into it. They're going to talk to specialists about it. We're very confident about this. But in the meantime, I mean, be aware, and you never know who you're going to be, facing on the street. So be as cautious as you've always been until we can actually scream, yay, because it's been written black on white. So until then.
Did they give a timeline?
Yeah.
No.
There's been there's been some leaks that, it could take within a month. I mean, it's a law though. It's definitely on their priority list. So I do think we also have to stay on it in a respectful way, but we will be on them and pressuring them. But I do think it's a priority. So, I would say, maybe a month is really not realistic, but definitely I would say within the next few months. It shouldn't take that long. But they do have to study all we gave them huge files of statistics and studies showing that, it's not effective and some alternatives. So I don't think it's going to take that long.
Anyways, if you need us, we're there.
All right. Well,
I'm here.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody. It's just been amazing for you. I'll be giving updates as I receive them. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. And I will be planning the victory march.
Excellent.
Okay, it'll be before the winter.
Thank you, Susan.
Okay, thank you.